we have today here Iman Nahvi from CEO of Advertima, one of the hottest startups here in Switzerland in regards to analytics and everything. So give us a short introduction, Iman. What are you guys doing, and what is your vision of analytics?
Sure, thank you very much. So we believe in a future where the digital and physical worlds are completely merged. The purpose is that we have that it enhances the way we live and work. And if you really want to do that, you need a data layer that is completely aware of what's happening in the physical world. Now, the visual component of this understanding is one of the most important components. And what we do is the visual interpretation of people in the physical world. Now, if in future a smart space needs to interact with a human being, it needs to visually interpret the human being, and this is what we do. The big players like Apple, Microsoft, and Facebook, they are focusing on personal devices, so AR glasses, mobile phones, and they basically give them the capability to visually interpret people in the physical space. We focus on smart spaces, on non-personal devices. And we believe that the future is only going to be capable of analyzing, understanding the physical space if we do our job right.
But Iman, I think that's what's really essential, is understanding a physical space. It's very easy to understand how a person interacts with a phone because he's fully focused on the small screen. But in his physical space, people just behave different and act different. And that's where you use sensors, where you use your AI power. So could you just explain what's the specialty of your solution?
Exactly. So it is really easy in the meantime to, on the mobile phone, analyze one person who is standing in front of a camera, half a meter, not moving around. You have to face for a few minutes in front of the camera to analyze and interpret that person, right? Now in the physical space, let's say a shopping center, you have 50 people in a certain area. They are moving around very chaotically, and some of them are far away, some of them are close to the sensor. So analyzing the physical space and understanding people and their behavior in the physical space, it's exponentially more difficult and complex. And 20 years ago, that wouldn't be possible. Nowadays, we have the technologies to actually build that, and not only build it in a proof of concept project or so, we already have brought it to real rollouts and to the real world and generating added value.
So there are two different concepts. One is really looking at putting the power to the edge, and the other guys are really putting it to the cloud. What is your concept? What are you following?
Now imagine you have a smart store, for example, a retail store. And inside the store, people, the customers, the consumers are moving around, they are interacting with products, and gathering this data can be done in the cloud, of course, but reacting to the people in milliseconds, that requires just more than cloud computing can deliver. The thing is, let's take digital signage, what we call smart signage. If digital signage has to react within milliseconds to the behavior of people inside the store, you can send the data to the cloud and decide there what to do and then send the decision back to the store. So that's the reason we do edge computing. Edge computing enables us to really fast react to what's happening inside the store. The second reason is privacy. So that's also very important, and without edge computing we wouldn't be able in Europe to roll out, but we are doing it right now because there is no personal data needed. There is no personal data stored. There is no picture stored. So the only thing that happens is within milliseconds, anonymized metadata is extracted from the picture on an edge computer, and the picture is not saved. So the only thing that we have is anonymized metadata. From that, you can reconstruct how the picture looked like, so you can really know who that person is or identify that person.
We look often at solutions like yours, and we really like what it is. But in reality, the challenge is always, how do you manage this data and how do you manage the insights on a longer term? It's easy to do it in a pilot store, but do you have customers, or what is your concept of really enabling retailers, enabling offices or so to really, use this on a longer term and get long-term insights?
And that's exactly the difficult challenge that we have, right? So the point is, you have bringing AI to the real world. does only work if you really put it at the core of a product. So using AI as an add-on of an existing product is not going to work out. So there is the added value is just not high enough. So using AI to transform products, to transform processes, that is the way to bring the real value to the market and the real return on investment to the market. So for example, digital signage. You said analytics. We don't see ourselves as an analytics company. We are an AI company that puts AI at the core of digital signage. So it's not audience analytics on a product that already exists since 25 years. It's completely new because we think the process is new. So we have smart targeting, for example. So the core of the product, smart signage, is AI. Everything around it is what has to be rethink.
Okay. So what is your vision? Where will AI analytics be in 5 years from now? Will it be commodity? Will everyone use it, or?
Let's say 10 years from now. So at the moment, what we are realizing and the entire market is realizing is that we believe we are faster than actually we are. So at the moment, a lot of stuff have to come together. AI chips, for example. We are at a very early stage at that point. So during the next 10 years, I really believe that there will be this, what we call the human data layer. It's a data layer that completely understands what's happening in the physical world. And there is this one single source of data that multiple applications can get access to. So you have the application smart signage. You have the application for a retailer, for example, autonomous checkouts. So you have behavioral analytics. You could deliver data information, real-world data, real-time data to robots that understand what's happening inside the smart store. You don't need 5 different technologies to do that. You need just one data layer that is delivering the information needed to all the applications. If you're able to build this data layer that is delivering the data to all these applications, of course, the return on investment for the customer is going to be higher, and the decision for the businesses is going to be much easier to decide to go for AI.
So your vision is to be a vendor-agnostic data layer or analytics layer in stores and in physical spaces?
Exactly. This is what we call the human data layer.
Thank you.